if there are things that really do matter, the conversations that are challenging, like how do you, discipline your children? Those things that really do matter, they're important, so have the conversation about them, but be willing to talk about different points of view and listen to what our spouse is sharing about how they feel is most important. So we thought our next one we would do is the 5 things to most annoy your spouse.
Because we figured you really needed help with that. Like that would be really helpful in your relationship and be able to. So one of the first things to do to annoy your spouse is I can't even do it. Is to not listen to them. Because that would be really effective in helping you create connections with your spouse.
And I love that one because it shows me utmost respect.
Yeah.
Another thing is to make fun of them to all of your friends.
Yeah, talk negatively. Tell all of your family, especially, and your best friends and your coworkers and stuff, all the things that really annoy you about your spouse, because that will really endear them to you.
And for you guys, make sure that you leave the toilet seat down and pee all over it.
And don't wipe it up.
And don't clean up. And you might as well hit the wall and the floors as well. Because that will make her
it's so attractive.
You. It's super attractive. I have found that's a really good winner.
Yeah, and definitely tell them that, ask them, are you gonna wear that? Because are you sure you want to wear that? Because that'll really invoke confidence and belief in your spouse, and it will really help them feel empowered and sexy by saying things like that.
And then when you're fighting, make sure you're very derogatory and condescending.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was really good at being condescending. Derogatory, I don't know if I did that other than the condescending, but yeah, make sure you do that one.
Yeah, because that will really save your marriage. Attacking their character is really going to help you build those deeper connections and help your marriage to stay strong.
And let's see, that was 5. Maybe we can give 2 bonuses.
When your spouse is asking for intimacy, make sure you tell them absolutely no. Because you're tired, and why would you want to do that? That should really help you endear yourself to your spouse.
And make sure that it's always a no. Whether you're tired or not, just tell them no, as opposed to occasionally yes, even if you don't want to.
And always make the man be the one that is asking for intimacy in your relationship, because that really endears him to you and really makes him feel like he's wanted. Yeah, and that he's wanted, and that he's I can't. I'm sorry. I can't keep a straight face. Okay, if you didn't catch on to the sarcasm, all of that was very sarcastic.
Then maybe don't watch this video ever again.
Because when you do that kind of crap in your relationship, you're literally cutting down. You are destroying. Those are the things that will absolutely destroy your relationship.
So a couple of things that you actually can do is not make a big deal out of things that are really not that important. Does it actually matter how the toilet paper is squeezed? Or does it actually matter
how the toilet paper is squeezed?
Oh yeah, I said that again. Oh my gosh. It definitely matters how the toilet paper is squeezed. So, does it actually matter how the toothpaste is squeezed or how the toilet paper rolls over or under? It doesn't. So let it go.
So if you're finding...
a lot of the things that we think matter probably don't. They're the little things that drive us crazy, but just let them go.
Yeah.
I think that song from Frozen...
Let it go, let it go.
See, she's a much better singer than me. Those things that we let go that really don't matter, that actually can make your relationship significantly better. Now, if there are things that really do matter, the conversations that are challenging, like how do you, discipline your children? Those things that really do matter, they're important. So have the conversation about them, but be willing to talk about different points of view and listen to what our spouse is sharing about how they feel is most important. So I was raised in a very strict, very, do what I say because I told you to household, um, very authoritarian household. And my mom didn't like it. And my mom actually said that their biggest challenge in their marriage was how to raise children properly. Unfortunately, because that's how I was raised, that's how I would try to parent our children, was very authoritarian.
And I feel like even now, we've been parents for 19 years now, that we definitely still fall into old, especially when we're, tired, hungry,
all of those things.
We tend to fall back into those old patterns and stuff.
Habits.
But what we found is it's so important to apologize to your children. It's so important to recognize the mistakes that you're making and then to admit those mistakes to your kids and let them know, hey, you know what? This is our first go at raising you. And so, and every new experience that we have is a new experience for us as well as for you. So, have some grace for us, but teaching your children that, you know what, I make mistakes all the time and I'm willing to admit those mistakes and say sorry and do do-overs with your kids it's so huge. It's made such a difference because as an early mom with my first child, man, I actually just wrote him an email the other day and just apologized. Like there were multiple times when I was trying to teach you things where I was, trying to teach right principles and stuff, but I did it in such a way that was so detrimental because it was like very harsh and like, no, you have to do it this way. This is the right way and you need to do it this way. And then there was a lot of shame and guilt. I'm like, ugh.
Part of what I was trying to get at with my part was, if I've made mistakes in parenting because I did, maybe how my dad did or whatever, then Melanie would say, maybe you could do it a little softer, and to listen and to not take offense at the good advice that she was giving, and to
let me interject
move
really quick
forward with that great advice to make sure that I was utilizing it more often than not.
So let me interject. The really important too, though, is to not do that conversation in front of your children while it's happening.
Correct, because that undermines either parents or both parents' authority.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we decided early on was that we would not correct the other person in the immediacy of parenting, that we would do it off stage.
Now, if one of us was really angry and really like losing it basically on our children, then we would say, hey, can we pause and can we bring this into the bedroom and have a conversation about it before you move on as far as what's happening with the child. And it's not always pretty, but it is effective, is that, hey, this isn't going the way that you want it to, and if you continue down this path, you're going to cause more damage than you are good. And so having that just pause of being able to just take a breather and stuff. And so that has been helpful for us to be able to stay on the same page on parenting and be able to have a personal, private discussion about things, not in front of our kids, so that they can see that there's unity between us and that we're not fighting each other on how we're working and disciplining and overcoming those challenges with our raising children.
And another thing is that, if I have said no or yes to something, they don't go to the other parent and then ask that parent. And the other parent, to try to help make sure that happens is, like if they come to me and say, hey, Dad, can I whatever? And I would say, well, did you talk to your mom yet? No. Okay, then my answer is yes. Go talk to your mom and see what she says, and vice versa.
Yep.
And so keeping us on the same page that it's never pitting each other against each other, because the kids are secondary. Your relationship comes before the kids' relationship or your relationship with the kids. And if you remember that, then it can be a really powerful tool that you use to make sure that you're on the same page and you're unified and together.
And the more silly and fun and playful that you can be in your relationship with each other and with your kids, the
worse it is for everybody.
Yes, that. The better it is. Talk to you next time.